forgot my sunglasses again. Hello and welcome to the Steelcityman channel's weekly rant. I'm going to try and keep this first rant rather short, and it's just a case of having the last word on this momentous general election we've had in the GB. Everybody expected the Labour Party to get a resounding thrashing, lose most of the seats, and Theresa May, sorry for swearing, Theresa May and the Conservatives to gather a substantial gain in seats and have a huge landslide majority. Well, she didn't do it. She failed absolutely miserably. And for all that's been said about Jeremy Corbyn and his socialist ideals, the young people turned out in droves to vote, and most of them voted for Labour. So we finish up with a hung parliament. Nobody's got an absolute majority. Although the Tories won the most seats, they got the most votes by that much, only just. But nobody crossed that winning line. So in order for Theresa May to form a minority government, she's now got to enter into a pact with one of the other parties or several of the smaller parties in order to get her votes, get her seats over that winning post line. And what has she done? The stupid woman, she's gone into bed with the Democratic Unionist Party in Northern Ireland. I've never seen such a bigoted lot of people in my life. Anti-abortion, anti-gay marriage, anti-homosexual, religious zealots. And they're now going to blackmail Theresa May into getting what they want. God forbid it's going to be the banning of any gay rights legislation or anything like that. But that really does get up my nose. That really does make me angry. They're all Conservatives, and at the end of the day, the Conservatives and those who vote for them are black-hearted people. They've got no social conscience whatsoever. And history's proved when the Tories get in, what's the first thing they do? They call it rolling back the state. Public spending cuts. They cut welfare benefits for the poorer members of society. They privatise public utilities so that the public have no longer got any control. Everything, money, money, money. Grab, 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 me. Typical Thatcherite policies. That really does get my blood boiling. What about the people? It's us that make the country. It's the people that generate the profits for the wealthy. I don't know. I hate capitalism and everything it stands for. And I hate the Tories even more. That's my first rant finished. I'm not going to carry on because I'll just get bogged down and start swearing and get really, really angry. The second part of this rant is what I promised you last week. I'm going to make America great again. Excuse me for the terrible American accent. Donald Trump. What's he about? What is with the guy? He's got absolutely no experience of politics. All he's done is build businesses up and fail. So he's built a business up and failed. Built another business up and failed. At the moment he's currently top of the tree, and he says that he's got rid of all his business interests. Yeah, I really believe that. Yeah, he's got his own vested interests. We all know what Donald Trump wants from this presidency. And what's he doing with this? Like, he makes these executive, I don't know what we call them, I forgot now. He signs an executive document that's like going to become law, but he forgot he's got to get it through Senate and, well, 2 houses. Like he said he was going to build a wall to keep Mexicans out because they're all rapists and thugs and criminals and illegal aliens. The man's a xenophobe. He's an absolute fool, and honestly don't know where Americans are coming from voting for a person like that. the mind boggles. And I'll tell you something else, during the lead up to his being elected as president, Europe and a large part of the free world, we were terrified of what he was going to do. We were getting pretty scared of Donald Trump being the president. My goodness. The way he carries on about North Korea, the things he says about China, he should be cozying up to China, economic wise, if nothing else. I don't know. I just don't know what he's playing at. And of course he's got rid of all the White House staff that were under Obama, understandably so, but what's he brought in? There's no doves, they're all hawks. He's brought like-minded people in to back him up. That's dangerous when you've got defence staff, chiefs of defence, that just want to press that red button. Scary stuff, Donald, scary stuff. You have not got a clue how you're making the rest of the world feel. You probably haven't got a clue that the rest of the world is actually laughing at you. He's more of a buffoon than Boris Johnson, and we all know how daft he is. Oh my God, getting back onto Theresa May and British politics, Boris Johnson, he's gathering his troops round him to make a push to be next Prime Minister and depose Theresa May. Jesus, Trump and Johnson. What a combination. I just can't believe it. I really can't believe it. All these opinions are mine. Nobody else's, you know. I mean, a lot of people share my opinions as well. But I've, like I keep saying, I've not been fed by any media. These are just my observations. Donald Trump in the White House, my goodness, scary. It really is. Well, that was a short rant, really. And I've said everything I really can say without being totally insulting. You know, his foreign policy sucks. Oh, hang on. Has he got one? No, I don't really think he has. But he's signed executive orders. He's signed so many executive orders that have been thrown out at the first hearing. He must be totally embarrassed about that. It really must be. What's with this, I don't know, getting rid of Obamacare, as it's called? It's almost like a national health service for the poorer end of society in America. It should be for all. You know, why are the wealthy people so up in arms about this Obamacare? We're paying taxes, we don't want to pay for other people to use it. You know, come on, America, where's your social conscience? I don't think you've got one. You certainly had one after your revolution, when you kicked the oppressors out, namely the Brits. You certainly had a social conscience then. What have you done with it? What tree have you buried it under? It's totally ignoring the plight of the Native American Indians. Totally ignoring it, like most white presidents do anyway. It's about time somebody got a grip on that situation and sorted it out. Talk about oppressing people. There's nobody more oppressed in America than black people and Native American people. And the numbers of black people and Hispanics that voted for Trump. And women! My God! Women actually voted for him after all he'd said. There you go. Anyway, that's my rant about Donald Trump over. I hope I've not offended anybody. I probably have. Well, hey, that's life, you know. Not everybody agrees with what you think. I know everybody doesn't agree with what I think. But we've got a right to have a difference of opinion. And we've got a right to express that difference of opinion. If you want to argue with me, that's fine, we'll have a debate. Not an argument, we'll have a debate. But currently, I can't see any good in Donald Trump's administration. I can't see any good whatsoever. He doesn't look like a president. He doesn't act like a president. And what's this with him on Twitter? My God, he's like a schoolboy. He's like a schoolboy with things he says on Twitter. All right, Putin uses Twitter as well. But read what Putin says, and Putin uses it a little bit more constructively than what Donald Trump does. Donald Trump is name-calling and childish, spiteful things. You know, that sums the guy up. I just don't think he's suited to office. I think you should impeach him for this sacking of the FBI boss. I think he should be impeached for lying and I think he should have another election and bar him from standing. I don't know whether if you're impeached you can't stand again. I don't know. Certainly Tricky Dicky didn't. But the president's been set. If you're doing wrong, get rid. Surely that's written into your constitution. You don't have to bear arms to get rid of your president. Gun law. That's another thing I'll have a rant about at one time. For now, I'm going to take a break and get on to the second of my main rants. Okay. Right, the next kind of mini rant that I'm going to have is it's based around, certainly in this country. I've no experience of it happening in other countries I've visited, but it's certainly in this country, and it concerns young people, and by young people I mean children and sort of people up to the age of about 18. When we're out on public transport in this country, you get on a bus to go into the city. Quite often you've got a shopping bag and you're elderly, so you've got a walking stick, or you're a pregnant woman, heavily pregnant woman, or you're just old and doddery, you know. You get on the bus, there's no seat, so you've got to stand. Right. Back in the day when I was a child, if I didn't stand up and offer my seat to one of those categories of people, I got a clip round the ear. And it counted as well for being bad mannered. So every time I got on public transport, my mother would sometime have to nudge me, say, come on, stand up. And I'd let one of these people sit down. Pregnant woman, a lady, an old man, somebody with loads of shopping. You know, if there were no seats, children stood up and let them sit down. Do they do that nowadays? No. They just look at you struggling, and that really gets up my nose. Almost to the point where you can't actually say anything. You'd actually start an argument with the parents. You give them the 1,000-yard stare. Makes them feel uncomfortable. They know what they're doing, but they still won't get up. They're such bad-mannered rapscallions. They really are. Such bad-mannered people. And it doesn't cost much just to stand up for a few minutes, let an old dear sit down, or an old gentleman, or a pregnant lady, or somebody that's infirm. Don't cost anything to stand up and ease their lives a little bit. It's very good manners. You'd be better thought of. I don't know. They just don't do it nowadays. It just reflects modern society, I think. People are so self-centred. Again, it goes back to the me. Grab. I want. You know, the people have got no thought for others. What is our society coming to? I don't know. Electing Tory governments, my God. Electing Donald Trump, oh my goodness. And young people that won't stand up to let an old person sit down on public transport. It happens on buses, it happens in queues. People just, alright, Brits are famous for queuing. There's no fairer alternative. You either queue in an orderly fashion, or there's a fight to get on first. And that's happening more and more. People are just walking in from the back of a queue, getting on your bus before you. You've been stood there 20 minutes waiting. They just walk up and get on bus in front of you. Talk about anger making. Like I said, it reflects society. It's a crying shame. However, I'm going to finish my rant there. I've really ranted about that. I've got hot under the collar, particularly about the Tories. Oh, sorry, I've sworn again. So there you go. Next rant due next Monday. Hope you've enjoyed this. If I've stirred your anger, great stuff. Comment if you've enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, please. Even subscribe. Better still, if you subscribe, ring the bell. And then you'll get notified when I start posting again. Next upload will be the Wednesday walk a mile in my shoes. So until then folks, catch you later. Bye bye.